it's Patricia here. I hope you're well and happy. I don't know whether it's gone live yet. I don't think it is. Hey everybody, sorry, I'm just looking here. I just see it's just gone live. Hey everybody, it's Patricia here. I hope you're well and happy. I am not sure if you got the announcement, but I am going to be doing some Facebook Lives in here. I just wanted to connect back with everybody. You may have seen my email that in the last couple of weeks we've had a very kind of crazy time here. I took a week off on holidays, and at the very end of my week there was a hurricane. So let's just say it wasn't the ideal end of a holiday, but that then led into 5 days of no power. And also, then when that kind of came back, things happened with me with Facebook. So I was like, what the hell? So I've just been moved up and pushed away from the world. One of my friends messaged today and said, look after your root chakra. So I have a nice red dress on today, anchoring in my root chakra. I am excited to be here. It's been a while since I was shared, and I wanted to just really kind of re-engage. It was so beautiful. I asked a few questions about what people had taken action on in terms of what I'd shared before in the Feng Shui trainings and the classes before this. So each week I will be dropping in to do a beautiful just review and some things that you can do about Feng Shui and some questions that people often ask me about Feng Shui that I would prefer for you to know and to answer, for me to answer, than for you to be wondering or Googling and getting misinformation. So let me just put my headphones in. I just want to make sure the sound is better. So if that's better, hopefully that's better. So I have some questions that people have submitted to me, and if you do want to submit a question, I will I'll pop the link below, and you'll be able to click that and submit some questions for me, which I will go through. Now, this is kind of a short and sweet little session each week, and it'll just give you some action steps that you can take to do some Feng Shui. Okay, let me see. God, there is lot of questions sent to me, so we will be a while before we get through them all, but it's all good. Now, I'm going to start at the beginning. Oh, well, this is so good. The very first question was one, so this is not I'm not quite like, what one will I answer first? I'm just going to go at the very beginning. Where should I start with decluttering? My house is feeling heavy with clutter. I feel overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. So recently, hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. So recently, in my PowerHouse program, I had a client comment and actually post a similar question, but her question was about the attic. And there are some key areas in your home that I would certainly recommend looking at when it comes to decluttering in a level of priority. So the very first one I would say to you is the attic. First of all, it's probably a place that you haven't been to in a while. Second of all, a lot of the things that get put in the attic are, and this is from a quote that I've heard in the past, that like clutter is unmade decisions. So you haven't decided whether you really want to keep it. You're not really sure when you're going to use it again. So it just gets put to the side, whether it's either the garage, the basement, or the attic. And those three areas for me are really like little spaces that I think could be tackled without having to get too emotional about things. Clutter is a very emotive topic, and it's one that people can find quite difficult to work on. So when it comes to clutter, for me, my suggestion would be to, number one, focus on a place where the things that you're working with are not going to have like an emotional tie to them, first of all. That you're not going to, so because decluttering is like exercising a muscle, it is like building a muscle, and when you build that muscle, you get better at it. You really get better at it, and it gives you loads of energy. So I'm going to talk about why I would recommend the attic or the basement to be the places that you would tackle first. And the attic is because if you're feeling overwhelmed, your attic is full of things, it is literally bearing down on your head. It is creating this sense of like heaviness and this burden on your shoulders, a burden, busyness in your brain. Like it's literally, so if you've heard me talk about this before, your house is like a person. It has eyes, the windows, it has a mouth, the front door, and ears are like the walls, it's taking it all in. But like the attic is kind of like the brain. You know, if you think about it, it's like the top of the house. And if it's like full of junk and stuff, it is literally going to be affecting every single part of your body and your health and your well-being and your vibrancy. So that would be the place that I would recommend starting out if you are going to start to declutter the attic. Because the thing is then, when it comes to the attic, also the attic, what should go into the attic? So what I would recommend that goes into the attic is Christmas decorations. Yes, you can have your Christmas decorations because they're seasonal. You're only going to use them once a year and they could be up there. The other thing that I'd recommend in your attic, and I'm actually just taking from my own attic because I'm thinking of my own attic in Ireland, is our camping gear is up there. So when we go to festivals or we want to go camping, all of it is set up there. It's in there. Now, we don't have like an outdoor shed, so that's why it's up there. If we had an outdoor shed, I would say the camping gear would go out there, but right now that's what goes there. So it's something seasonal. We use once or twice a year. There is no emotional quality to it. It is literally got its little job. It's there and it'll come out when we need it. Now, that's because that's when we actually use it. Now, if you haven't camped and you have camping gear in your attic and you haven't camped in 10 years, get rid of the camping gear. You don't need it. If you haven't used it in a certain length of time, then it's time to let it go. Now, other things in the attic that some people can have can be lots of paperwork and old bookkeeping and things like that. So we have our annual accounts up there, but we just have the 7 years. So we are meant to keep 7 years of them. We keep the 7 years there. Now, the reason we don't have them in our office is because it's not accessible when we're not there during the year. Okay, so that's something that's up there. But it is not like tons of stuff. It's like 7 folders, and then each year it's taken out, whatever one needs to be cleared, and it's cleared. Okay, so that's really important to recognize that like anything that you have to keep for a certain length of time, you can keep that, but you don't want to have excess of all these things. Like, do you need every paper slip, every pay slip you've had for the last 20 years? No, you don't. Excuse me. Other things that I've had clients find or put in their attic is like children's artwork. So if you have children and they have painted for you, I've had clients who have found artwork that their children did for them that is like 10 years of art, 35-year-old, their children are 35 years old. And you're like, okay, well, ask that 35-year-old, does he or she want that artwork? Plus, it's not really yours anymore. It's still their artwork. So if they want it, you just give it to them. And if you want to keep a few pieces sentimental, that's fine. You don't need to keep it all, okay? So it's really about being very clear with what the purpose, like that everything in your attic has a purpose. So for example, you change your wardrobe, you do a seasonal wardrobe and you change your wardrobe out. That's something that I would say, okay, perfect. So your winter clothes could be upstairs when it's your summer clothes and you switch them around. So it's not something that's going to be going up there and never moved and never switched or never cleared out again. That if there's something like that, it is blocking the energy and it is overwhelming you and bearing down on you and your body, okay? So this is really where you're asking me where to start. I would say, first of all, the attic, and the basement is the same. It's one of these places that gets neglected and things just get shoved out there, unmade decisions. Try and clear it out. You will be so surprised how much energy you will have after clearing your attic. I've had my own experience with Ken when I moved in with Ken. The house was built, he built it, and everything he had was kind of belonging to him from his mother's house, from his life, all kind of just went up in the attic. And we found things that were like 20 years old, pay slips from like 20 years, notebooks, work notebooks from like 15 years ago. Like, why would you even need this? And like the interesting thing was the shift in his energy. Once we moved and got rid of all of that, it was just like he hopped out of bed just being like, yay, let's go, like da, da, da. It was absolutely fascinating. So I would love, first of all, also for you to commit. So please share with me if you're going to commit to doing and tackling something in terms of where you would start. And is there something that you can think of in the attic that hasn't been used in like more than 6 to 8 months, except for Christmas decorations, that could actually be let go of? Because there's like this whole thing of like, I'm keeping it just in case. Like, keeping it just in case is great, But the other part of that is that it's if it's your attic is totally clogged, it's impacting your health and well-being. Now, that's where we start, okay? And you're like, oh my God, I started a really hard one. Okay, so I have another question that has been sent to me, and it's like, would love to know how to keep up positivity when everyone's social media life looks like they have it under control. This is a great one. It's not quite feng shui related, but decluttering will definitely help you release your energy. And yes, another thing is asking for help to clear the attic or clear the space. Attic being empty is amazing, and that's a big prize, but tackling the bedroom. So again, when it comes to the bedroom, or, for me, I would say, if you are like the biggest avid book reader and you love books, like, don't try and declutter your books first. Like, go declutter your shoes if you're not into shoes so find the thing that's not going to be that difficult. For me, it's often like I'll go and do like my drawers in my vanity or my makeup bag, or kind of clear the bathroom out first, then the plastic containers cupboard, then I may get to the bedroom and go, okay, I'm ready to do the bedroom now and clear some clothes. But if you have like a whole thing of attachment to clothes, like, definitely give yourself a chance to recognize to just go to the easy things first. Now, the other thing is, with that whole aspect of decluttering, is just be gentle with yourself. You don't have to do it all today. And I know, like, for me, Marie Kondo talks about, like, get everything, do a whole declutter day, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, if you want. But like, it is a muscle, and and it's a continuous journey. Like, you'll always find things that you can be let go of. And I am always so surprised how I ended up keeping something that I'm like, how did I end up keeping that? Like, I haven't used that since. So just being really mindful of your things. And easy things to declutter is things that are broken, things that are not working, things that have gone out of date. Like, these are the things that you can really do that will be super simple and easy. Um, so yeah, it can be really easy to kind of to tackle the places that are not as emotive, and then do the other things. So yeah, and it can be really hard. Like, I feel like right now, energetically, people have seen, we had the crazy hurricane here, and it was just really a weird, strange time. So being gentle with yourself. Someone did ask me about like, how do you keep positive? And one of the things is just looking after yourself, really looking after yourself. And one way you can, and this is why I think that this is a perfect topic to talk about with the feng shui as well, is that looking after ourselves is super important, and tending to your own energy. And that means, like, clearing out, letting go. But I also recommend, feng shui is all about connecting to the elements of nature. So spending time in nature is just the most powerful thing you can do. And when we work with people feng shuiing their homes, we're actually bringing the 5 elements of nature in to balance and harmonize the space. So it will be quite balancing and harmonizing. Now, just to let you know, I have questions already submitted to me for a long time. So I will pop the link below for you to post your questions if you want to share and submit questions to me, but I'm going to be doing them in sequence of the ones that have been sent to me. So, and one of the things, it's so interesting because I've had, the next question that came in was like, how to stay motivated. And, having things in your home that are not aligned with where you want to go, or are broken, or a sense of like extra, like, clutter. And for me, when we talk about clutter, I'm not talking about, today's dishes on the sink, or the kids' clothes in the wash basket, or their toys thrown around the floor. That's not what I'm actually talking about. What I consider clutter is, and it seems like it's actually kind of, I don't know what, it's not kind of the wrong word for it, but what I would consider is blocking and slowing down motivation and energy levels would be areas of your home that are being left untouched and not looked at, like a bookcase that has not moved. I had one client who had a bookcase that the books were there for 35 years, the same books, on the same, like when we think that's like stagnancy, it creates staleness and stuckness, and that will then mirror back into your life with what's going on. So just giving yourself a chance to move that through. So I will post the link for people to post their questions and to submit questions in, but as well. So let me see if the next question. Let me see the next question. How can I bring up the vibrations of my home so that we all work through the same uplifted feelings? So this is like, it's so interesting how the questions kind of are all connected. But honestly, if you, and I talked about it when I saw it with Ken, one of the biggest shifts that I saw was once he started to declutter. So anyone who's feeling a bit stuck, a bit sluggish, a bit like tricky, things are not feeling that good, just walk around your house and see, what can I let go of? Because as you let go of something physical, it's also kind of letting go of something emotional as well. Like you're letting go, and it's like, that's that whole messel. It's an internal, external thing. Like our external environment mirrors our internal environment. If we just do something on our external and we do a bit of a sweep, clean and clearing of things, we'll make space for new things to come in. So giving yourself that opportunity to check in with that, I think that can be absolutely vital and really powerful practice to do as well. So we're just coming to our time with today. If you have questions, I will post the I'll post the link below. I'll post the link below for you to submit your questions. Please do, if you are going to declutter, take a photo of you decluttering. Like tag me on Facebook, tag me on Instagram, share with me your action, because you know it really motivates other people to do it. And honestly, sharing your wins, your success, or how you feel afterwards can be so good. So if you are going to take action on this, like come into my group, take a photo, share like I took action, and it can share other people and share how you feel when you cleared it. Or the other side of it is like, come and, you know, tag me in Instagram, show me or share it in a story. I want to see you taking action. Like, so the word action is not in attraction for no reason. We have to take action to see results. So sitting in the one place and not changing anything is going to keep you stuck. Whereas if you move things and clear things, you're making that flow, and we're stepping into that flow. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm looking forward to sharing again next week. Keep an eye out. If you enjoyed this, please do share it. Please tag your friends and take action. In the meantime, you'll be able to tune in. I also have my podcast, which I have an interview coming up next week with the amazing Patty Lennon, and you'll get to check it out. That Patty teaches receiving school and really about how to use the energetics on the inside. So I'm all about the physical space, and that will help, but we'll also be sharing and hearing from Patty next week. In the meantime, have an amazing week. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will be moving through all of these questions. Like honestly, I'm just going through here and I'm like, oh my God, there are 120 questions sent to me. So let's just say my Q&A sessions will be busy. In the meantime, thank you for being here. Feel free to submit your question and enjoy. And do, if you're listening to the podcast, like, subscribe, share, and tag me if you're taking action. I want to see you taking action. In the meantime, have an amazing day. Thanks for being here, and I will see you all soon. Bye.